Russia from my house.
Hi, Nolan. I can see Mexico from my house. Hi.
Hi.
This is our first day of hiking in Big Bend National Park. First day of hiking, right?
Yes. So we drove from our campsite down to Santa Elena Canyon, and this is at Castellon, and they happen to have a fire there last year.
We're looking at the video on the computer.
And so this is the just some pictures of what
the remnants of the visitor center, and they had some old machinery there. I don't know if it's tractors or stuff that it used to use or stuff that was there before the park showed up. That was pretty cool.
When we stopped in there wasn't a ranger or anything around to get information about it that day. And so then we drove from there over to Santa Elena Canyon, where we started our first hike. We got there early to get a parking spot because they allowed one car in and one car out once the parking spots got full. So we definitely made sure to get to this trail early.
So left side's Mexico, right side's US.
For real?
Yep.
Cool.
Everybody, hey,
What is this trail?
Santa Elena Canyon Trail.
So I wasn't aware that we had to cross a little creek. So actually that's I think it's Terlingua Creek. Let's try saying that fast.
Terlingua Creek.
Terlingua Creek, right
Terlingua
there.
Creek.
And it flows into the Rio Grande River right there.
Well, I knew we had to cross it, but everything I had read about it said it's normally dry. So,
there was a whole bunch of rain that night. Remember the hailstorm? So
yeah, there was that night before there was that massive hailstorm. So, of course, we get there and it's crazy wet. So we're a little surprised by this.
Mud.
I think probably the best way.
You're gonna have
Here.
my wallet in my back pocket here. Yeah, take this.
Yeah, the best way looks like that.
Oh, it's kind of cold all of a sudden. Get the wind coming through.
So here's us crossing the creek. Of course, Jonah thinks he has to go first, so
We let him be the guinea pig. Follow Jonah, Nolan. Nolan, follow Jonah.
Oh, that is cold. You know what? Oh, sick. Feel great.
you got it? This is the deepest part. There's a rock right there. Don't grab onto me.
Okay. Am I that much shorter than you guys and I'm that much deeper?
Careful.
I still got my...
No. I just don't know how deep it is because it's not right there. God damn it.
Here's, it's like a slippery right
Okay.
there. It's not as bad as here. Boys, I didn't want you to come across here.
What?
Where else did you come across?
We just walk straight. It's like
Here?
yeah, it's not deep. It's the same depth right here.
No, come
How do you not slip around?
It's less slippery in the water.
Is this all mud?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not.
Yeah. I'm just taking small steps. God damn. Ah!
No, my shoe got wet on the inside.
Stupid kids.
And once we got on the other side here, we were gonna walk with our shoes off for a little while because we saw a couple other families doing that. And because the trail, I said it was only what, maybe a quarter mile down there originally, but it was longer than that. So at some point we were like, forget it, we're putting our shoes on.
Hi, Nolan. I can see Mexico from my house.
You don't get bit.
This was kind of deceptive. I thought it was just going to be along the river bank, but they had this bunch of switchbacks, and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?" So these switchbacks took me by surprise. So we were actually climbing up the cliff face a little bit, but then I don't remember going down towards the river again. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. Which I don't understand why you went up and then you went down. Maybe it's just you couldn't get around this cliff.
Yeah. So these switchbacks were cool. They also did like canoe trips. I think you can do like a day trip. I mean, you can also do like 3 or 4 day trips.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 day long trip. I'm trying to say that right. A trip that takes 3 or 4 days.
There you go.
Obviously you need camping gear to do that, but they had, I think this was just a 1-day trip that we arrived at with the same people here. So they had like a little launching area there down on the river.
And normally they launch at a different spot, but that day they were all launching there for some reason. And I don't know if it's because of that hailstorm and the river was up or something from the day before. But they normally launch down a little ways.
Yeah, so you can see here the big canoe excursion for these folks. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so.
And what's surprising here is, I thought it was pretty cool. Is a diverse kind of like environment. You're in the desert one moment, and then the next moment you're in this little tropical, grove type thing.
I mean, there was like it was like bamboo trees or bamboo type trees. I don't know that they were necessarily bamboo, but it was pretty cool. And you could see all of the seashells and stuff in the rock from, I guess, years and years past.
So this is pretty cool. I mean, you're right there on the Rio Grande River, and like Mexico is like literally 100 feet away.
Yeah, that was neat. I mean, it was really pretty through here. That was neat. After we finished at Santa Elena Canyon, we drove up to Tuff Canyon, which is cool. That was like a mile hike, not bad.
Yeah. And it started getting hot. So this was I think it was around noontime, or maybe just right before noon.
Right before noon, yeah.
So there's a couple parts to this trail. I think there's an overlook, and then there's the actual trail that goes down into the canyon. We decided to go down onto the canyon floor.
Yeah. Because it was shaded down there once you got into the canyon. Yeah. That was a fun little trail. It wasn't too tough, and it was just nice down there.
Even though it's called Tuff Canyon, it was probably named after somebody named Tuff, not
Yeah.
not that the canyon itself is tough.
Yeah. Tuff, not Tougf. Or H, I mean. Tough.
So we should probably narrate this a little bit. I was talking to Chantel about this app that she has, and the wind noise was kind of picking up, so I couldn't really get most of the audio. But basically I was asking her what app is she looking at while we're hiking. So why don't you go explain this app?
So I use the app All Trails.
All Trails.
And
Yep.
I pay, I think, $30 a year for All Trails. And so then I download, I don't have any cell phone service here, but I download the map while I have cell phone service or internet service. And then I can follow along while we're actually hiking.
Yep.
And which is really nice, that make sure that we're actually still on the exact trail. So, because sometimes on trails the markers aren't that great, but that allows you to know that you're actually on the correct trail.
Yeah.
So I really like that app.
And we've used it before on different other hikes, like at Glacier National Park. So what she usually does is she turns her phone. I don't know, is it available for other phones? We have iPhones.
Yeah, you can use it on the other phones.
So she, like she said, she downloads the trail maps while we're in service or have some kind of Wi-Fi signal, and then she turns her phone onto airplane mode, so it saves the battery. But even on airplane mode, your phone still uses the GPS signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it still tracks us, and you see a little dot moving along the trail line. So we're looking to upgrade to like an actual GPS, because like the GPS batteries last like 5 days instead of, you know,
Your cell phone
a few hours for cell phone batteries.
And I like my cell phone to be able to take pictures, and I mean, still having your apps running in the background kills your batteries on your phone. But I still like that because you can see everyone's reviews of all the trails, and you can actually get real information from real people that use the trails. So
Wood and
Water
logs.
thing.
Yeah.
They are water.
Well, one of them is water, one of them is...
Spike thing.
Can't remember.
This is a check dam. This is for like keeping erosion control, and this is also erosion control, but just getting water off of the trail. And they usually go in pairs.
Will you just squirt me?
Like this. Here's a water bar. You just have to dig. Dog.
Thanks, Park Ranger Jonah.
Junior Ranger Jonah.
That's me. Educating.
For reminding us about our education. Forgot. We're gonna remember it.
These are really old too, because they were freaking eroded.
Maybe you need to get out here in Big Bend and become a park ranger.
Maybe.
Get on fixing those.
Like this? Like, what's this? You probably put in like 50 years ago.
Really?
Still works.
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm just estimating.
Well, I don't know. Look at those massive black floods.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could have just been eroded really quickly.
Maybe 20 years ago?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We have no way of knowing.
Right.
So Jonah, our son that was just talking here, he actually spent a month out in Yellowstone National Park last summer as part of the
Youth Conservation Corps.
Youth Conservation Corps. So basically, it's a program where they take kids from like the ages of 15 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
They spend a month out there and they help like
Build trails.
and fix things. They do scientific like reporting. You know, they count
visitors.
Yeah, they count visitors in parking lots. They basically are rangers in training, I guess, park rangers in training. And so he was just one of his jobs as when he was out in Yellowstone was like refurbishing a bunch of trails, and one of them was he built a whole bunch of called check dams and what's the other one? He just said it, check dams and water bars, I think is what it's called, to kind of help erosion and kind of divert water along trails.
Yeah.
So
he's told us this a few times, but I always forget. So he was reminding us what those were, because a lot of people think they're stairs in trails, and they're not.
He told us there's like the established trail, and there's also what they call social trails, where people like, hey, I want to go over there, and then you start walking off the trail a little bit, and it creates a little like smaller trail off the main trail, and they call those social trails, which aren't really good for the environment. I think he told us
it takes 7 people.
7 steps. So just 7 footsteps along like unbothered nature starts creating a trail. So then after Tuff Canyon, where do we go next?
We went to lower.
No, went to the
Oh yeah, then we went to the
Mules Ears.
Yeah, we just went to an overlook of it.
And as you can see, it looks like a pair of mule's ears. So
we just went to overlook because that was I think that was a 4-mile hike out there, but we had other hikes planned.
Yep, and then after that, we went to 2 more trails.
Lower Mesa.
Lower Burro, Mesa,
Pouroff.
There's a sign on there. So there's 2 trails. There's the lower one, and then there's the upper one. We did the lower one first, and this is like a shorter, was it like a half mile?
I think it might have been a mile. It was like 3/4 a mile one way, so a mile and a half.
Mile and a half total. So fairly easy. This was more traveled by a lot more people, since it was easier access and shorter. It was relatively flat. So this was towards the lower Pouroff, and we'll see what we're talking about with the Pouroff. And then later on in the day, you'll see it later, but we went to the upper Burro Mesa Pouroff, and that's more of a 4-mile hike.
Yeah.
The 2 trails, they made sure on the signs and the maps that the 2 trails don't connect, and you'll see why at the end of the video. It's definitely a reason why they don't connect. Me at least try to be a little bit happy. Tired. I'm tired too. Look, that's where we were. Sham. That's where we were down there. The scale of the park here from the map that we showed. We're driving around, but this is where we were before.
And it started getting really hot out here because there isn't a lot of shade and stuff along this.
No.
But this is where we come up to the bottom of the Pouroff.
This is the lower part of the Pouroff. I'm not sure if they actually do they get any rain here?
Yeah.
Actually make a waterfall of some sort?
Yeah, like on a really heavy rain. So I bet that night before there might have been some water coming through there. I mean, it was dried up though.
Yeah.
There was no water there.
And the 3 kids we had with us, they think they're mountain goats, so they like to climb on everything. And they like to think that they're mountaineering experts, which...
We have 2 that are good, and then we have one that he's not as agile as the others, but he knows his limitations, which is good.
There's the Pouroff. So from there, we just kind of did another little drive up, about another half a mile or so, to the upper Burro Mesa trailhead. And here's the trailhead right here. And as you can see, it got really hot. It was probably the, I don't know, upper 80s.
Yeah, by this point it was like 3 in the afternoon we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock.
So this was a 4-mile hike, and we probably should have done this first. But we knew that nobody was going to do this hike in the afternoon, so it was, I think we may have seen like maybe one or two groups of people.
Yeah. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe a second one.
Yeah.
Earlier on the hike, but yeah, I think we did see us 4 people on this hike. A couple at the beginning, and then a couple once we got towards the end of it.
And there was our washer and dryer. And that's our daughter's whistling. So what trail is this?
Upper Burro Mesa Pouroff.
Pouroff.
All in word, Pouroff. And then water floods through here. I guess it goes to the lower Burro Mesa Pouroff.
Hi.
I'm glad someone else told them that because then they'll listen.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't always listen.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of scrambling on these smooth rocks to get all the way down.
Yeah.
And then there's like literally like 100+ foot drop off.
Oh.
So you don't want to get too close to
I
that.
knew that's what.
You don't have to take them all the way, but you should stay up with them.
I knew that was gonna happen, and I told them I was like, at some point it stops. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Thanks.
So everything that Chantel had read about this trail was you're just hiking, and then you maybe scramble over a few different boulders, and then it just drops off.
And that's it.
And we didn't know if these were the boulders that were going to drop off or what. So we're getting kind of nervous with the kids just kind of being a little bit in front of us.
Because they were just going, and we had no idea exactly where they were at this point. And that couple said it was like 10 minutes up there, maybe?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
And and the boys were quite a ways ahead of us, and so I wanted to make sure that they were within eyesight of us.
So we didn't actually hit the end. So we didn't actually hit the end of the trail because we got some joint issues as far as like hips and knees and backs and stuff. So we didn't feel comfortable scrambling around these boulders.
I mean, a few years ago we could have gotten down and got back up, and maybe we could have. I don't know. I was just, my hip was dud by this point, so it's like I did not want to.
You kind of see Chantel limping along, but we allowed our oldest and our oldest that was with us, Jonah, he's 18, and our second oldest son who was with us, Nolan, who's 13, allowed them to climb over the boulders and
get down, because they're just
get
like,
down there.
they're just monkeys. They could totally get down, get back up. And our youngest, he's the one, he's like, ah. So we didn't want him to get down there and be afraid that he couldn't get back up.
Mm-hmm.
So we told him to stay, which he was fine with that.
Wait for us,
Here's you guys. And then walk. Out into the sunlight. Boom.
There's
We were
Pouroff.
just down there.
That's where we were at.
Trail.
Yep.
Wacky.
So good thing that we didn't go down there, but he took some pictures, took some video for us. And by that point, we were pretty much done for the day. I think it took us another 2 hours to walk back.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was a long back. We were tired.
Yeah, we got back to the RV at like 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was just hot.
No, we got back after, it was like 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So.
Because at one point I was afraid I was not going to get out of that canyon.
So this is, like I said, the first day of 4 days I think we had at Big Bend National Park. There's different like regions of the park. This was kind of more of the deserty region, you know, as you kind of see. The next day we were down, where did we go? we went towards the
We went to the Chisos Mountains.
Chisos Mountain Basin, which is more of a mountainous area, and went to a couple hikes there, which is much cooler and much more relaxing. So we'll put that video out once we got it all set. But anything else you want to say about the first day of hiking we were there?
No, we did a lot of hiking that day, and I don't know, enjoyed it, so it was fun.
All right, till next time. See you guys later.
All right, bye.